Hey, hey, hey. Welcome in, welcome in. Who's in a partying mood? I am. I hope you are having a fantastic, let's turn this down. I hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, all the customary checks that we have to do when going live. Let me know. I'm excited for today. I have questions. Yay. There will be room as well for additional questions. But last week I forgot to send out the form, so I didn't get any in. So yeah, there'll be space for questions. So drop in the chat. Let me know if you are in the UK. Are you happy the weather has cooled down, or are you like, turn it up, Jesus, turn it up? Let me know in the chat, because yeah, we've had some grumblings about the weather, some celebrations. I'd love to know where you sit. And if you're not in the UK, let me know what the weather is like where you are. Let me know what the weather is like. I'm just checking that I am live across all of the socials. Hey, Vanessa. I'm going to pull up your comment. You're loving the good vibes. Were you dancing along with me? Because then that would be a whole party. Having said that, on Thursday, inside of the LinkedIn Strategy Lab, get my teeth in, we have what's called a prospecting party, right? Where we use the time to go out into the wild on LinkedIn to prospect, to find potential clients, to nurture conversations, to reignite old leads, to follow up, to do all the things. So that will be a whole party. This is a mini one, but that will be a whole party. But yeah, I hope you're well. Oh, it's hot where you are. It's hot over here in Houston. So we had got up to 35 degrees. Let's see. What's the temperature in London? What is the temperature? Oh, in London. I feel it's like around 20. Okay, it's 24. Okay, that's 76 in Fahrenheit. I know you guys do Fahrenheit. So the temperature has dropped, and I'm like, guys, you complained too much. You whinged too much. And now we're back on the struggle bus. We are back on the struggle bus. Vanessa was definitely doing a little chair dance. I love it. Chair dancing is the best. When I used to work in the office, oh my gosh, I was dangerous. I had my did I have earpods back then? Yeah, we had earpods then. I'd be in the office just boogieing and trying to like just keep it to shoulders, not waist, just shoulders. But I digress. Mona, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. So guys, I do have some questions, but feel free to start dropping your questions in the chat if you have any LinkedIn specific questions, not about my chair dancing. Any LinkedIn specific questions, maybe it's around your profile or it's around your content, your pipeline building, your lead gen, network engagement, drop those in. And then I'm going to pull up the questions from the lab, the premium lab mates, which is what I call them, who sent their questions in. I'm just going to double check that I am live on IG, because that is always, there's like extra steps that you have to do on IG. So let me just double check that while you are putting any questions you have. And I've just created a resource actually that I'll tell you guys about. I just created a resource. It's all around revenue generating activities specific to LinkedIn, because often we're busy being busy and not generating revenue. So I'm going to do a post tomorrow, but you guys are on today. So you guys, the QR code is there. You can scan that, get access to that. But I'm going to do a post tomorrow with an infographic that will lead to this freebie. All around revenue generation. And it's initially like a diagnostic of your activity for generating revenue, and then a 7-day activity plan for you specifically on how you can generate revenue on LinkedIn. Because as I said, too many of us are busy being busy and not actually making any moolah because we're focused on the wrong things. If you're on IG, I'm looking over here because the phone's here, but the camera's here. If you're on IG, like drop your questions in as well. I will pick them up from the phone. I won't be able to show them on the screen because, yeah, it's just not how IG is set up at the moment for me. I need to get to 1,000 followers. If you're not following me on IG, go ahead and follow me there. Go ahead and follow me there. All right, guys, I'm going to start with the first question that I got in. This question was, how do I know whether my LinkedIn problem is my profile, my content, or my networking activity? So is it profile, content, or networking activity? I would say if you are checking your profile views, if you're seeing different individuals on your profile, you're seeing different faces, depending on whether you have the free or the paid tier. So if you have the free tier, you will only see, I believe it's 5. I see 5. Having said that, I was delivering a masterclass, an in-person one, and this guy raised his hand and he was like, yeah, I see more than 5. So I guess there are some special people on LinkedIn, right? So you're limited in the amount that you will see. If you are on premium, you will see like going back 365 days, right? So check that daily, right? And that will let you know whether people are viewing your profile, right? But you may have visibility. People may be checking you out, but if they're not engaging, if they're not sending you DMs, if they are not reposting, that might be a signal that it's your content, right? Maybe your messaging is off. So with all of the things that you've called out, profile, content, networking, we have to look at them holistically. We can't just look at each one as kind of like standalone items, right? So it could be that you haven't built enough trust. So going back to your content, going back to how you engage on the platform, maybe you just haven't built enough trust yet through your messaging, through case studies, through testimonials, even through going live, because this is one of the big strategies for trust building. Maybe because you haven't built that trust, people are not inquiring about your services, they're not taking the next step. What else would I say? Networking. I would ask you, what does your engagement activity look like? Are you spending more time creating content and not actually engaging on other people's, not having, and this is the next thing, a lot of people engage on the wrong type of content, right? So have you carried out research to find your prospects? Come to the prospecting party if you're in the LinkedIn Strategy Lab. That's a premium tier event on Thursday, right? So if you have built that list of the right prospects, are you having conversations on their content? Are you engaging? LinkedIn works as an ecosystem. So your profile, your content, and relationships, they all support each other and they have to be working together and not in isolation. So I hope that helps you. I will tag you in once the replay has downloaded. I'll get the timestamps and I'll tag you in so you'll know exactly where to grab the answer to your question. Malika, how are you, sweetheart? Good to see you. I hope you are well. You said I'm on Instagram and on here. I love it. I love it. Okay, cool. I see you here. Let's wave. I see you here. Let's hop over to Mona. Should I get my account verified? I would say in this, what we're calling trust recession, right? Where there's a lack of trust, people are being scammed, there's a lot of fake profiles, there are AI profiles, bots. I would encourage people to get their account verified. Now, I only did this recently, and the reason why it took me so long to do it, it was a whole headache and situation to get my account verified. Like, and this wasn't just me. I wasn't taking it personally this time, right? Other people had said the same thing. So when you had to scan your passport, for some reason, the third party tool that they used just wasn't playing ball. So I tried it a few times and then I just gave up and was like, this is too much headache. Then one day I just randomly thought, oh, let's just try it. And it worked. It went through first time. So as I say, because of the trust recession, I would say to verify your LinkedIn profile, it just gives that trust marker, that credibility stamp that you are the person. And what you find as well, people have multiple profiles. So they may have set one up and then no longer have access to that email address. Then they set up another one and then they go into another business. They're like, I don't want my boss to know what I'm doing. So they set up a third one. So someone searches for that person and 3 profiles come up. So straight away, people are suspicious. They're like, oh, this is an imposter, right? They don't trust. So by having the tick, the verification mark, that is going to help you. So I hope that that was helpful. Let me have a sip. I picked it up and did nothing with it. Let me go to the second question. All right. So this question is, what should I prioritize if I only have a small amount of time, 30 to 40 minutes a day for LinkedIn? Like, you are in my sphere of recommendations for LinkedIn. I'm not about spending, I had people spending hours and hours on LinkedIn and I'm like, doing what? What are you doing? Right? What's the upshot of the time that you're spending? Is it leading to revenue? Is it leading to conversations? I'm very big on show up on LinkedIn, add value, engage in conversations, get in, get out, and get on with your business, right? Because we're not influencers. We're not trying to focus on the follower numbers. Ultimately, we're using LinkedIn as a tool, and I'm on my soapbox. We're using LinkedIn as a tool to grow our business, and that means that we still have to work on our business, in our business, and LinkedIn, I'm assuming, is not your business. So 20 to 30 minutes is kind of all you need per day. And that is per day, right? If you're thinking, oh, it's 20 to 30 minutes a week, probably you're not going to see traction. You're not going to build trust. You're not going to start to have those relationships. So I would say spending like 10 minutes. So if you are in the LinkedIn Strategy Lab and you haven't taken the visibility challenge, what are you doing? Why have you not taken it? Like, go do that. Right? So obviously this person is, but those are who are watching, get into the LinkedIn Strategy Lab. There's a 7-day free trial, right? So, and within the lab, there's the visibility challenge. And in that, that's my recommendation. Like spending 20 minutes, like 30 minutes tops. So 10 minutes responding to comments and messages. Don't just respond to your friends with congratulations, happy birthday, so happy for you. That's good to do because we want to be good humans. If we think of the 80-20 rule, right? Spend 20% of your time doing that and then 80% engaging with those people that we spoke about earlier, with those prospects, the clients, the people who are values aligned, people who will amplify your message. Get a seat at the table and have a voice in the right conversations. Don't just think because you commented on something that's going to get you a client or get you visible. It will not. I'm sorry to say, it will not. Right. Then spend, I would say, the next 10 minutes. So we're going to spend the first 10 minutes responding to comments. And I would say the next 10 minutes connecting. So doing that prospecting, looking at your content, who is engaged, going over to their profile, seeing what they're about, what they're up to. Are they a fit for what you do? Right? Starting to connect with those individuals, following them. So we're doing prospecting, checking your DMs, spending 10 minutes, right, to either send DMs or to check and respond to DMs. That is part of the lead generation. That's part of nurturing relationship building on LinkedIn, right? So those are, you know, daily activities at a minimum. I would expect everyone that's in the LinkedIn Strategy Lab to be doing, right? And then in terms of content, posting content, ideally, I would love for you to be posting 3 times a week. I know that that isn't feasible for everybody. So, depending on where you're at, time capacity, energy capacity, all those things, start with 1 post a day and then build up to those 3 posts, um, because you want to be putting out your thought leadership. You want to be sharing your expertise, building a body of work on LinkedIn. Like if you are selling your intellectual property, you're selling your expertise, your knowledge, we kind of need to know how you think. We need to know your perspective on things. We need to know the way that you approach things. What are your frameworks? Sharing those on LinkedIn, as opposed to, I see way too many like just random quote cards. And I'm like, that's nice, but what does that have to do with you and the service that you sell? Right. So you have to think about the content that you're putting out. So I hope that that was helpful. I will tag you in the response. I will tag you in the timing for the response. I'm going to grab another question. Let's have a look over. Hey, Shahinda. How are you, sis? Good to see you. Good to see you. I can't see. Actually, I can tap here and I'll be able to see who else is on. Patricia. We were buddying over on TikTok. That's where I met you. So good to see you. I hope you're well, sis. Drop in the comments. Let me know because I can't bring your comments up onto the screen on IG. So I'm live on YouTube, live on Facebook, live on LinkedIn. So hop over there if you're wanting to engage. If there are any premium or VIP lab mates on the call, right, be sure to drop your questions in. And if you want to come up live, I can send you a link and you can ask your question in real time. If you weren't able to get your question in advance. Vanessa says, I'm curious about the Thursday live that you mentioned. I'm very new, in capital letters, to using LinkedIn. You're in the right place. In this manner. So I'd love to see more of what you do. So come into the LinkedIn Strategy Lab, right? So in the lab, there are 3 tiers. So there's a standard tier, which is $7 a month. There's a free trial for 7 days. So I would say come in and then take the visibility challenge. I mentioned that the first 7 days is me teaching content around visibility on LinkedIn, right? So get those 7 days under your belt. There will be other resources in there as well, but I would say focus on that for the 7 days, because actually I've got to edit that video. I did a member win based on her going through the LinkedIn Strategy Lab, and she was saying like day 2 took her out, right? So it's a challenge, right? So, but it's not to the point that you pass out. We're not doing that, right? So do that 7 days, and then if it fits in with your lifestyle, your business, if the space, appeals to you, stay in, right? It's $7 a month. You can cancel whenever. That's the first tier. The second tier, sorry, is the premium tier, where you get more proximity to me, more coaching. The prospecting party on Thursday is in the premium tier, and there are strategies that I share with those on the premium tier, and then I have implementation sessions to actually implement what I've taught, because it's all too easy to just watch a video tick to say you watched it and do nothing with it. I want to create. So it's a 2 hour session to actually implement, to put into to place and practice. And some people hop in at some point in the session, some people do all of the session, but it literally is providing you with space and opportunity to start to see the results with the activity that you do. That's part of the kind of revenue generating activity. So if you haven't scanned the QR code here, it was something I've been building out today. So it is a roadmap for activities that will generate revenue for you on LinkedIn. I'm going to do a post tomorrow that will share that lead magnet, but you guys are here so you can grab that. You can grab that now. Malika, I am happy that you're good. Patricia says, let me go to YouTube. Yeah, come over, sis. Come over. Where did I get to? Mona says, that makes sense. Amazing. You're very welcome. You are very welcome. You go on to say, that happened to me. I have 3 still. You told me to get rid of them. I remember, but I was able to only get 1 closed. Oh man. So yeah, this is the thing, right? So if you don't remember, or if you no longer have access to the email address, or you don't remember the password, you can contact LinkedIn like support, and how useful or how likely they are to be able to help you with that. But that would be the direction that I would have encouraged you to go. So I think in terms of getting verified, that probably is more of a priority for you, given that you will have 2 profiles and that will erode trust. People are suspicious. We're in a trust recession, if you missed the memo. So yeah, I would get on with getting verified. Hey Shika, how are you, lovely? How are you? I'm trying to remember where our conversation got to. I'm like, am I owing something? Was I meant to send something? I don't think so. I think I think we are good. I'm going to take another question from the members in the lab. In the final few minutes, guys, feel free to drop your questions in. Carol, how are you, love? I saw your post actually. I love that you are out and about, active. I think you were volunteering somewhere. It was like, yay, go, Carol. Do that thing. Do that thing. All right. So, final question is, how can I make my LinkedIn profile attract the right clients? How can I make my LinkedIn profile attract the right clients? So, your profile, in essence, should aim to answer these things, right? So, the first thing, I would expect to see you speaking to the problem or the goal that you help somebody to achieve, right? Speaking to that problem, that goal that is linked to the offer that you have, right? Because a lot of us speak to all manner of things, but there's no connection, there's no bridge to the thing that we're selling. So speaking to the problem and that the goal would be the first thing. I would expect for your profile, in order to attract the right people, to speak to the outcome. What's the transformation, right? And you can message that in your banner, right? That top section, you could have a value proposition line. You can message that in your content, right? Speaking to the results that you get. I worked with a client, they came to me with this problem. This is what we did these are the steps that we took, and this is the outcome, right? If you can add a metric, some kind of stat to show the improvement, the transformation, that again is going to help in terms of attracting the right clients. What else would I say? Being very clear in terms of, like, you are a business owner and I'm here to do business, right? So having a funnel on LinkedIn, letting people know what is the next step. How can I work with you? Because it's all well and good you giving me all this value. And I think I said this last week, giving all this value, answering questions, sharing frameworks, and then not making an offer. What you then do is you invite that person to go and work with somebody else, right? Because you have exposed the problem, you've educated them. They're now an educated buyer. And because you haven't been forthcoming with the fact that, hey, I have a service that solves that problem, or hey, I have a webinar, hey, I have a course. Like, let people know the thing that you have that solves the problem. Because then otherwise, we're just a charity. And if you're a charity, be a charity, right? But if you are a business owner, let people know how you can solve their problem and the fact that there's a cost associated with the result that they're trying to achieve. So, yeah, that was probably a long winded. Let me read it again. How can I make my LinkedIn profile attract the right clients? Okay, so if we take it like to a more technical, not technical, more tactical, that's the word. I knew it was a T word, a more tactical level, we could be thinking about things like the keywords that you use, right? Keywords are what LinkedIn uses to present you in a search result. So if you have the right keywords, then LinkedIn are going to share when somebody searches for that particular thing that you have in your headline, you have in your about section, you have in your experience, you have in your skills, you have in your content, right? What you're doing is you're building topic authority, which LinkedIn then uses to position you because they now understand who you are, who you help, what you talk about. But also, the people that they put you in front of are clear, right? They know that they're in the right place. They know that you solve the problem that I have. They know that you work with my demographic because your messaging is clear, right? So, keywords, making sure that you have links to your offers, making sure that what else tactically, utilizing the services section, the there's so many things on LinkedIn that they're giving you every opportunity. LinkedIn's mission for us as users on the platform is economic advancement. And I see that in and through the features, the resources, right? So it's not just about having a CV, a resume, and speaking to all of your credentials, your accolades. They want creators, they want business owners to come onto the platform, and they're giving you everything that you need in order to be successful. You just have to leverage it. You have to have a strategy. You have to be consistent, right? And consistent doesn't mean like show up every day, be on every day. It means consistency in terms of your messaging, consistency even in terms of like the way that you branded your profile, consistency in terms of the people that you engage with. I'm going down a rabbit hole, but often you keep getting the wrong people DMing you, the wrong people engaging with your content because you're engaging with those people, right? The people that are not aligned, they may be your friends. And do you remember I said 80-20, right? So if you've got it the other way around and you're doing 80% friend, 20% client, LinkedIn is going to send you more of the wrong people. Going to send you more of the wrong people. So I hope that that was helpful for everybody. And that's what I was saying. This is a session for those on the premium or VIP tier, but just being in the room, I hope that you're getting value from it. Let me know, drop in the chat. Let me know if this has been helpful. I'm going to pick up some more questions. That is awesome to hear, Carol. I'm glad that you are well. I'm glad you're well. Yeah, always here to support. Always here to support. All right, so we have a question. I'm a founder looking for entrepreneurs in the high tourism category. What will your advice to start in LinkedIn? I'm a founder looking for entrepreneurs in the high tourism category. I have no idea what high tourism is. Tourism, yes. What will your advice to start? Um, if you're still on, drop some more, give me some more words, right? So you're looking for entrepreneurs that offer travel services already? Are you looking to form partnerships? Are you looking for referral partners? Help me a little bit to understand what it is that you're trying to do, and then I'll come back and answer your question. Carol says, very helpful information. Bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Patricia, you made it over. You made it. How are you? You're like uber creative, super, super creative. I remember checking out your Instagram and just being wowed by like all of the amazing things that you are creating. IG, feel free to drop a question in. I don't think I've picked up a question from IG. So if you are still on, this is your shot. This is your moment. Malika says, yes, love this. Amazing. Amazing. High tiers, as in like luxury travel. Is that what you mean? Let's go back to your original question. Where's your original question? So you said, I'm a founder looking for entrepreneurs in the high tiers tourism category. What were your advice to start in LinkedIn? Okay, so I don't have the detail. I'll wait for you to drop it in. Okay, here we go. So you said partnerships and business owners in the restaurants. Okay, restaurants for like in the tourism industry. So straight off the bat, no matter what industry, what sector you are in, you absolutely have to start with profile optimization. So setting your profile up with those keywords, having the banner with a value proposition statement so that restaurant owners will know that they are in the right place, that you solve the problem or help them with the goal that they're going after. So making sure that that top section, I call it the above the fold, that top section has been set up correctly. If you looked at it through the lens of a restaurant owner, would they understand in a very short space of time what you do, the result that you get, the problem that you're solving, the offer that you have, right, in that top section? And based on that, they will decide if they want to follow, if they want to connect, if they want to download a freebie, perhaps that you have, if they want to book a discovery call, whatever your sales process is, right? That may not happen on the same day. They may just follow you and consume your content over time. So, profile optimization would be the first thing that I would say. And the second thing would be to create a lead list for yourself on LinkedIn. So to go on and use the search filters to find those relevant people, to start to follow them, to start to engage with their content, to start to have those conversations, right? Nurture the relationship in the open first, right? Make yourself known to them, so that they have a few notifications, they see your name a few times, right? And then we can move it into the DMs. Way too many people go from connecting straight to pitch slapping in the DMs, which never works, right? So nurture those relationships. I would look for adjacent service providers as well. So a restaurant owner will also be connected with suppliers. They may have partnerships with others in the kind of tourism industry, starting to connect with those, because what you're doing is giving yourself more shots at goals for being seen, for getting recognized in the ecosystem that you are operating in. So I think that those would be the kind of initial things, trying to piece it together based on. It's very hard with this approach, right? Because I would like to dig into the detail, and that's what I do in the premium tier. You know, I can do reviews of your profile, audits of your content, those implementation sessions where, you know, I know your business and can kind of shape and give you a better answer. So this QR code is for the revenue map that is coming next week. Let me grab the link for the lab. If you're not a member, it's on a 7-day free trial, so you can get in with no risks to yourself, right? Check out the space. I would say my advice to everyone who comes in on the trial is to go through the LinkedIn Visibility Challenge, right? 7 days of talk content. If you want to stay in after the 7 days, that's when you're charged the $7. And that it's a 28-day challenge. So after those 7 days of talk content, that's when we're literally implementing, building the visibility muscle. So I have just updated the QR code for the lab. Let's just change the wording, right? So if you're not in the LinkedIn Strategy Lab, you can scan that code and that will take you to the lab. If you are on the device and you're not able to scan it because you're using it, you can come back to the replay. The replay on YouTube and LinkedIn and all the other places will stay up for a while. So you can come back and scan. Yeah, guys, I hope that this was helpful. Hey, Elizabeth, how are you? Let's see. So you said, is LinkedIn content different from Instagram content, or can it be adapted? Absolutely, it can be adapted. I would say with your digital profile, there should be a thread. Let's go for a gold thread, a gold thread that runs through it all, right? So somebody discovers you on Instagram and they know you speak about graphic design, that's your area. The way in which you speak about it may be different, right? The way in which you show up may be different, in the sense of maybe you leverage more carousels, or maybe you are leveraging the stories. LinkedIn used to have stories, they got rid of it. Please tell me why, right? Stories are great for like daily engagement, daily nurturing, right? So maybe you show up on Instagram with those stories, but then you could repurpose those into content over on LinkedIn. Maybe you go live expanding on what you spoke about in those IG stories, right? So you already know what you spoke about, you already know the messaging that you had. So someone who discovers you on Instagram now discovers you on LinkedIn. Going back to what I said about consistency, that consistency is just being propagated, right? Because you're not talking about one thing on one platform and another thing on another. So yes, you can absolutely your content overall, your marketing, content marketing should all have a strategy and a purpose, and should all be working together on these different platforms, right? So if you are speaking to different things on different platforms, what will happen is potentially you'll be calling forward and attracting the wrong people, because when they then get into working with you one to one, or into your course or your community, you know, they're like, oh, I thought it was this, right? When actually it's that. So consistency is really, really important, especially for coaches, consultants, experts in whatever it is that they do. So I hope that answered your question. Oh, I'm pleased. I'm glad. I was trying to understand your actual question. So I'm glad that that was helpful. All right, guys, I'm gonna give you back your Tuesday. I will be back on for a next Q&A next week, Tuesday. I moved the time, so it was 6 p.m. last week, but school news happens at the same time. So I'm not gonna go up against school. That would be foolish. But also, I want to watch school news. So yeah, I've moved it to 4:30. Let's see what happens next week. I don't think, yeah, I'm going to say 4:30 is the time, but I set these up in advance. So when I post it up on LinkedIn, RSVP so that it gets added to your calendar. Likewise with YouTube, click the notify me button when you see it, because then you'll get a notification. I'm not sure what happens with Facebook and Instagram, but these are weekly Q&A sessions. There were no premium members on. I would love to have had you up to have a conversation to see how you're getting on. Some of you have been given playbooks to implement. So some people are focused on going live as their strategy. Some people are having in-person events. Others are trying to build out their profiles and all the things that come with that. So I would love to have had you on and to hear how you're getting on. But guys, let me give you back your time. This is only meant to be half an hour, but your girl got chatty. So thank you so much for jumping on. You are welcome, Carol. You're so welcome. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and I hope you can join next week when I'm back on. Yeah, come with your questions. All right, guys.